What is up, you guys? I am going to be starting kind of a new video series here where I am taking questions from people online, like Facebook and other sources, and I'm going to be doing in-depth videos basically on them, providing information. And the first question that I had is a fun one, because actually when I heard other people talking about prior, it's from Eric Robertson. Said, how about future market projections based on the U-Haul statistics showing a growth of outflow from Colorado? And this was an interesting one because there's a lot of statistics out there if you're looking for like inflow and outflow of people who are moving into or moving out of Colorado, because that's really what we're talking about here. What U-Haul posted is statistics of people who are renting U-Haul trucks and taking them to other states, which you could theoretically guess, they are probably relocating, moving, so selling a house in one state, buying a house in another state. That is the general consensus. I'll go through what they have posted. This was January 2nd, 2025. The actual numbers, census numbers as far as how many came in, how many came out, that hasn't been posted yet. We may not see that for another month or two. So I am going to reference some of last year's numbers, and I mean 2023, stuff that came out in 2024. But this article was posted the very beginning of this month here in 2025, and it's talking about the statistics and, what states became popular, what states became a little bit less popular. So I'll go ahead and kind of read over the main points here. The number one state for arrivals for U-Haul, which means more customers returned U-Haul trucks there, was South Carolina. And that was the first time that it's ever topped the U-Haul growth index, which is what we're reading over. The other four states that followed, as far as second, third, fourth, fifth, was Texas, North Carolina, Florida, and Tennessee. So you've got South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, all right there. A lot of people are flocking to those states right now. It really doesn't give a whole lot of actual numbers as far as how many of those people. It's giving us percentages. And then it says that California experienced one of its greatest net losses due to do-it-yourself movers, people who are renting U-Haul equipment, and ranks 50th for the fifth consecutive year. So California, for the fifth consecutive year, has the most people who are renting U-Haul equipment to leave the state. That doesn't necessarily mean that California has the most people who are moving out, though theoretically you could guess that because of the population in California. They do have the highest population. This is just going off of U-Haul rentals. So again, this is not the census. This is not actually saying, the population that left or came in. This is how many people rented U-Hauls. I'm going to skip kind of down to the bottom of this. I'll post a screenshot of all of this stuff so we can move through a little bit quicker. The states that had the worst growth index, the best and the worst were Oklahoma, Indiana, and Maine. Oklahoma moved up 30 places, Indiana moved up 19, and the Maine moved up 18. And the worst growth, we lead the list here in Colorado. We moved down 31 places on the growth list. Nevada moved down 24. Wyoming moved down 22. New Mexico moved down 21. Which basically just means it's becoming a little bit less affordable to live here, and less people are migrating here, leaving other states and moving to Colorado. People are leaving other states and moving to more affordable states than Colorado. I'm going to move into our other growth statistics, and like I said, I'll include some screenshots here. So I thought this was interesting. Colorado was actually the growth state rank 9 last year, which means that Colorado was one of the top 10 states that people were relocating to based off of U-Haul rentals. And we went from 9 to 40, which means in that year, 31 other states kind of became a better place to live than Colorado of people who were relocating, is kind of the way that I look at that. So that's a very interesting statistic. And I'm going to go over a couple other screenshots that I took just to kind of, show you guys what we're talking about here. So top origin states for arriving U-Haul customers, excluding Colorado, so people moving within Colorado. The top 5 states of people who rented U-Hauls and returned them in Colorado. So again, moved to Colorado, were Texas, Arizona, California, Florida, and Illinois. So California is actually not number one on that list. Texas and Arizona were the two top on that list. And then followed by New Mexico, Washington, Utah, Montana, and Kansas. I had a friend who mentioned that Ohio should be on the list. I think Ohio was on the list in 23. Ohio is no longer on the list. The other statistic in relation to that I think is interesting, the actual metro areas where people are coming from. So it's Dallas, Fort Worth, Phoenix, Houston, Austin. So the top four of the top cities are in Texas: Chicago, Illinois, Los Angeles, California, Atlanta, Omaha, Nebraska, Kansas City, and Albuquerque. And Omaha makes a lot of sense. I know a lot of people here from Omaha. I know a lot of people that have moved here from Georgia. I don't know as many people that have moved here from Chicago, but I do know a lot of people that have moved to Colorado from Arizona. So those numbers make a whole lot of sense. And then there was actually a statistic that was like where Coloradans were moving to. And so right here, top 5 states people moved to from Colorado. And it's almost identical to the states that people are moving to Colorado from. Texas, California, Florida, Arizona, and Nevada. So people are, I think, moving here from other states. Some states that, they want to get somewhere a little bit more mountainy or maybe like if they're moving from Arizona or something, get out of the heat. And then they're probably living here for a few years and they're moving right back to those states. I mean, that's what the numbers are looking like. And again, so I had to pull this as 2023, but the top states that people moved here from were Texas, California, Florida, Arizona. The top states that people moved back to were Texas, California, Florida, and Arizona. And the numbers almost match exactly if you follow like the percentages on people who move there. So a lot of people they're just moving here because they think that Colorado is a great place to live, and they may end up living here for a short period of time or a long period of time, and then they are moving right back to their home states. And that makes a lot of sense. People do tend to move back to where they feel a little bit more comfortable. I did pull these couple statistics just because I'd mentioned early in the video. I've seen a friend who had posted about the number of people moving out of California. The census hasn't been posted. So even though we have U-Haul data, we don't know the actual number of people who left California in 2024 yet. It's probably going to take a little bit longer for us to get those numbers. We can comparatively use the numbers from 2023. Since we know California is not having a net gain, in 2023, 690,127 people moved out of California, while 422,075 moved in. And it doesn't, I'd have to do the math on that. It's because obviously it's a net loss. It's a net loss of almost 300,000 people. It's like almost 280,000 people left California and did not come back in 2023. Comparatively, in Colorado, 211,370 people moved out of the state, while 232,663 moved into the state, resulting in a net gain of 21,293 people. I don't know how many of those people are, families or just individuals, but you got to guess that the state itself had to accommodate more housing for that many people. And then, again, here in 2024, not as many people moved here, but we still had influx. And then again, the top 5 states that people moved to from Colorado: Texas, California, Florida, Arizona, Nevada. So people who are leaving Colorado, those 211,370 people, you can see the top places that they're going. Of course, they're going to all kinds of other states in the union as well, but these are the top places that they're going. They're migrating back to where they moved here from. So if I had to guess, the numbers for 2024, the net gain in Colorado is going to be quite a bit less because of how we rank. The U-Haul numbers are nice because the trend does follow that, even though they're not, we can't use that as our census number. We can use that to just kind of guess that if we moved from 9th to 40th, that that 21,000 people that we had gained in 2023 is probably going to be quite a bit less this year. In fact, we could even see it under 10,000. We are still gaining population in Colorado, and 2025 is forecasted to be a big year where we're going to get a lot more people. So if you guys are interested in anything to do with real estate, or you have any questions, please let me know. I'd love to do some research and dive into it. It's a really interesting topic to see where people are moving from and moving to, because I think we're going to see a lot more of that this year, especially with the projections. So if you guys have any questions, shoot me a message and let me know, and I'd love to dive into it for you. Thanks for watching.